Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the advanced character of our world around us, and this time we will talk about one fact. In recent months, maybe year or two, many official media and so-called experts, and we know what experts know only who pays, and they are telling the narratives the one who pays wants them to tell to the masses. So suddenly, like 1 year or 2 years ago, we can hear from official media that we are in danger of population collapse. If you are listening to people like me, you can notice that people like me for the last 20-25 years were telling that population troubles, demographic crisis really may be unprecedented in the history we know is coming. That's why we should start acting against it as quick as possible. And for many years we were just treated like, in best case, weirdos. People were saying, yeah, it's a sign of development, we are developing, this is the future. Without kids there is no future, but okay. Some people are always talented in saying any crap they want and any nonsense they want. And people were saying it's not a problem, machines will replace us, machines will help, they will take care of old people, blah 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 blah, whatever. But now we see that suddenly in media we are bombarded by the messages like there is a population collapse, surprisingly not only in the Western European countries, but also even in some Latino countries like Cuba, like Bahamas, also the even worse than in Western Europe demographic situation we can see in Japan and South Korea now, rapidly declining. Uh, Thailand is in not the best shape in recent years, and so on and so on. But as I told you, many people like me and many others who are professional demographers, I'm a amateur historian and amateur demographer, noticed these trends and were warning people that something like this gonna happen, and was actually happening for recent at least few decades. But now we have this information given officially. What's the reason? There is always a reason when narrative changes so quickly and so rapidly. We remember that last 2 years, especially the end of 2020 and the entire 2021 and the beginning of 2022 of Christian era, so modern era, people were forced, very often brutally, even intimidated. Many of them lost jobs if they refused. Some of them were only intimidated. Some of them, as I said, lost jobs or were even beaten if they didn't want to take some chemicals. And people were forced massively to take some chemicals against small Chinese friend. And we know that these chemicals, which were supposedly giving immunity against any variants of this famous Chinese friend, which is no longer so famous, were not effective, and now we see many side effects of these chemical specific substances that were offered to people by governments and few big pharma companies. And if we have side effects, so people react on it to a different level. Organisms of people, some of them react quickly, so we had this instant deaths after taking this so-called medication. Some people develop some diseases, and some people are now dying a little bit later. And now we see that there is in many places, not only in Western countries, rapid increase in deaths, in registered deaths, especially 2022, but 2023 is going to be really far more, in quotation, better than 2022 with in these regards. So suddenly the business political elite becomes no longer cultural elite, because our current elites, local, so in the countries or global, like World Pseudo-Economic Forum and other stuff, they are too stupid to be cultural elite, so they are only political business elite because they care only about the profits and power. And we see that they need to mask these effects, that suddenly the number of deaths is growing, like actually sky rising, it's growing like mushrooms in the forest after the rain. So they need to say that there is an explanation because we have population collapse and we are in danger of that. Yeah, this is very primitive, but for many people who do not think on their own, they swallow everything what official media tell them, like young pelican swallows fish because they don't think. In my opinion, this sudden notice of demographic problems of about 75% of world populations, of course to larger or to lesser extent, because the situation is not the bad situation is not evenly distributed in among the countries, but in fact problem exists. So sudden notice of this problem by official media and the fact that they stopped ignoring it tells us that these people want to mask something. What they want to mask, I just told you, that suddenly some people suddenly go to the Lord much prematurely, much earlier than it was statistically expected. So one needs to say some, I don't like this word, but it's used here, some narrative explaining that. And we know that our political business elites, they want only power and absolute control over people because they have no idea how to rule, how to solve current problems. So they think that by control, by making people stupid, by intimidation, by limitation of people in terms of mobility, in terms of numbers, I mean numbers with respect to population, and so on and so on, they will keep their power forever. Nothing lasts forever. This I need to comment, put this comment. So this is how I see it. And this is the reason why suddenly some collapse that was there was suddenly noticed by official media. This is how I see it. All the best. Have a nice day. Bye.